What's up, everyone? Welcome to our review of The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep. Doug Cockle is back as the voice of Geralt, as it should be. So good to hear his voice with all the hubbub of Henry Cavill leaving, having disagreements with Hisrich, Lauren, the showrunner, and then Liam Hemsworth coming in to replace him. I was worried they might use Liam's voice for this, as they used Jaskier's voice from the live-action Netflix. They didn't. They did Doug.
You gotta get used to it, though.
Yeah, you gotta get used to it. But it was good to bring Doug back for this. And this particular story, so the last Witcher animated thing we watched, Nightmare of the Wolf, I believe it was. This was 3 years ago. We loved it. Yeah. I loved it. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. And that was pre-Geralt, basically. And now we have Witcher, Sirens of the Deep, which adapts one of the best short stories from Sapkowski. And what's the short story called? I think it's The Little Sacrifice, which is a little bit based on A Little Mermaid, right?
Yes.
Only darker, grittier, focusing on love, unrequited love, and some character depth. And, between Yennefer and this new beautiful blonde, Little Eye and Geralt. Jaskier's here to join the party, and we've got Geralt up against, mermaids and freaking krakens, and it should be awesome. And I'm here to say sometimes it is awesome, but there are problems here. And it's a damn shame, because I was the one asking for more Geralt, more Witcher anime. Saying anime, there's no Japanese involved. It just has that look. In fact, I wish there were more Polish artists that we can get involved up in here, and bring it back, because this is amongst a legendary story amongst the Polish, and they should pay respect and homage. And I think this series wants to do more of a Disney thing rather than staying sort of loyal and close to the books. It makes its own interpretation, makes several changes that I think I don't really agree with. I think kind of weaken it. Others done purely for, action's sake. I do appreciate the action, and that's what holds this up. Basically, Doug Cockle back as the Witcher, and the action is kind of a reason to watch. I don't think it's fucking awful or trash, but I don't think it's good as Nightmare of the Wolf, the other animated thing that we saw 3 years ago. I will say the bar has been knocked really low by fucking Netflix, The recent Netflix live-action series of The Witcher have gotten so bad that, Henry's like, peace out. If we're not really doing this the right way, I'm out. And so I guess what I can say is, purely because the segments in this are based upon the original short story, The Little Sacrifice, this is the best Witcher content we've gotten recently from Netflix. So that's kind of the best I can say about it. So, unfortunately, while I'm very excited, for Cockle coming back, I'm a little mixed on it. Kind of knocked me out when we're doing what is it? What is the octopus lady from
Ursula?
When we're doing an Ursula fucking musical sequence, that really knocked me out. And honestly, I never really recovered after that, except for, a few action sequences. So, mixed bag is my opinion, unfortunately, on The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep. What did you guys think?
Great.
Better? Worse? No. gosh, we need to put these stupid Explorer Edge. I don't even use your browser. Shut up, Microsoft.
This is
Bunch of
triggering
ads
now. I'm
all
just
the
triggered. I was
time.
like, oh fuck, do we gotta do that again?
I know, yeah, no.
For me, honestly, this was like an average to below average film. The animation was okay. Some of the fight scenes are pretty good, but it's hard to draw a comparison to obviously Little Mermaid, especially with the musical. I don't care about the siren. I like it. I kind of like started thinking about the orcs, about Rings of Power. It's like, we have families. Like, oh shit, I killed a lot of fucking sirens and the Vonics or whatever. Vodniks. But I honestly, I did want to see more Witcher, like Nightmare, the Nightmare one, like some cool quests and cool like monsters. But here we did, but it didn't feel as satisfying.
Yeah, it's because you don't have any of the emotional impact behind anything. And while the visuals might be cool, it's a little hollow.
Yeah, like there's tons of fucking crazy kills and lots of blood, but at the same time,
I do like the gore.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're just like,
Yeah,
I don't care.
Another thing, I think the weakest part. I think what we're picking up on is the weak writing. I think these particular writers nowhere near as good as the original author, the book's original author. Not even as good as essentially what is essentially a fanfic with the video games, but with the most reverence and love and passion and understanding of the source material. It's as if this was written by people who, just did the Cliff Notes version of the Little Mermaid, and not only the Little Mermaid, but the Little Sacrifice. And then it's like, let's tie it up in a bow. Oh, and let's do a twist ending and change things because of, modern audiences. Or I don't know.
Yeah, you could see that coming from a mile away. But you don't really care about either kingdoms. They honestly both suck. So when that happens, you're just there for kind of the kills. It's like, okay, even the kills weren't And they had a badass Kraken. Right. But still, they couldn't.
A fucking badass crack. Like, this is a good example of, like, a reason to do an anime or an animated, because all this stuff in the battle sequences could not be done in live action. It could be done, but it would be extremely expensive. So here's where you get to do your flourishes, you get to do your massive monsters, you get to do your just like crazy stuff, and Geralt using all the fucking signs and doing such cool things. But
there's some times I'm like, what are you doing, Geralt? Like, use your fucking powers. Like, this is a perfect time to use it.
Yeah, well, no, I think he used it appropriately, but it's the lack of. I don't know what it is. Narrative tension and writing kind of deflated.
You didn't really care. And Essa, the new love interest, you just like there for whatever.
But she had such a great accent that came and went, and like she went from Cockney to royalty to back to Cockney, and it was. I think it's a giant fucking waste of time, and I'm so tired of the Witcher universe. Like, I want it in the video games because the people handling it at CD Projekt know what they're doing. Everyone at Netflix seems to have their head up their fucking asses, and I didn't want to watch this because I thought it was gonna be terrible, and it was fucking terrible. It has all of the subtlety of being fisted in a truck stop. The characters are evil for the sake of being evil, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm so good because I need a character that is so absurd." Like they treat you like an idiot because they are idiots. They're writing for themselves. This is not a good movie. It was a waste of an hour and a half. If you want to watch Geralt kill some stuff, watch highlights of the video game, because I think you would have a better time doing it. There was nothing here that made me happy about sitting there for 90 minutes. I do not believe that I need to relish every opportunity to spend time in Middle-earth or Star Trek or the Witcher universe if the people who are in control aren't doing a good job. And Netflix is not doing a good job. They have not been doing a good job, and I probably can guarantee you with season 4 will not be done well. And so it's like,
man, I can't wait for that disaster.
So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Be like, oh, this is going to be great. This has the entire Witcher season 4 cast, except for we got Doug Cockle, who I love. But it's like, I'm not going to give him a ton of points.
The producer is still the showrunner for the live action Netflix. And
these writers are writers from the show too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's like,
boom.
Well, so it's
that explains it right there.
And so it's like cartoonishly evil bad guys. It's cartoonishly optimistic good guys. Again, no subtlety, no nuance. Mm-hmm. There's really not a whole lot of intrigue here. Things just happen for the sake of needing to happen at the time. And yeah, it's cool. It's it's anime style, but it's like, yeah, you did cool action sequences with anime, but like the problem is it's all style. There's absolutely no substance, and so I wasted my late morning. Thanks, Netflix.
Well, that sums it up. It just shows you when creative teams are in control and they don't seem to be up to the task, you get stuff like this. I think I liked it a little bit better. I leaned on the the moments that we got to glorify Geralt finally coming a little center stage, some of the action. But yeah, I agree with almost everything. It's just a weakness in the writing, characters, decision making, and it's not as good as Nightmare of the Wolf, which I still highly recommend. So it's like Netflix can make good stuff, but this is proof that you need the right creative team behind stuff. And I just don't think that they have the right creative team with The Witcher. And obviously Henry didn't believe that either. That's why he left.
Everyone loves Lauren.
Yeah. Well, I
think this Witcher
like
looked a little bit more like Henry.
Yeah?
It looked more like Henry, the animation.
Yeah. They didn't make it like Liam, right? I think they were trying to do something for
Doug. Like, you son of a bitch, don't use his face.
Yeah, but I just love that Doug is back, and hopefully, he makes a return, obviously, in Witcher 4, and I'm just waiting for Witcher 4 because, I'm not sure Netflix is able to deliver the goods, which I think, isn't that this year? Oh, holy shit. I think later on this year we have Witcher Season 4.
Can't
Look it
wait.
up, Joe.
Can't wait.
Okay, so, but I gotta say that this is an opportunity for you to actually read the original short story, because I think the original short story is good. And besides one change at the end for action's sake, I do like the Kraken, and I do like the big battle at the end. I think that change is probably a little better. But everything else, every single other change is probably not good.
It says between June and September 2025.
That's this year. All right, we got
Witcher 4 than GTA.
But see, I can almost promise that this is better than what we're about to get there. So, and what I said earlier, I still firmly believe that this is the best Witcher we've gotten. Apparently, this is supposed to take place between episode 5 and 6 of season 1. I guess, I don't know, they wanted to let people know where it is on the timeline. And I'm like, well, damn, man. Looks like The Witcher is kind of really being lazy on all of his action after seeing him battle a Kraken and 15 fucking mermen.
That's why he was so tired.
27 Vodnik and drowners from the video game. But all right, anyways, let's go ahead and give it a final verdict. Should you go out and watch Witcher Sirens of the Deep on Netflix?
I would honestly just probably skip it. This is a below average for me. I'm gonna give this a 4. I think Alex is probably gonna think it's too generous, so it's a 4. But yeah,
mead required.
Yeah, I honestly didn't care about either kingdoms. I didn't care about any of the characters. Yes, Geralt was the best part, but even then, I did like the Kraken, but I wanted it to go crazy with the animation. All you had the Kraken do was just sit on the boat. That's it. You just
what do you want the Kraken to do, Joe? I'm gonna call you out. No, I agree with you, but I just want to.
You brought out some ships. Let's destroy some ships.
All right.
Let's have some crazy panic moments. It's dumb for this army to go attack these sea people. It's let's go attack them on sea. I was just poke holes in these boats. We fucking won.
They would get their asses kicked.
Yes, it's she did a Namor special. The old.
She literally sat her booty on that ship and just let people hack her to pieces.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm like,
that's what. Sorry.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Oh no! Don't watch it.
Nah.
Okay.
This is below average, and you watch if you haven't seen the other one, Nightmare of the Wolf.
Watch
that one better. It's better.
I liked a little less, not that much less, but I do think it's a bad piece of media that is a waste of your time. It's completely unbelievable premise about them going out into the ocean to hunt people who can poke holes in the bottom of their boat. It is, again, insanely dumb. And it is a trope that works, right? Where you've got two warring kingdoms, things are uneasy between them, and there's a representative for both sides trying to, instigate stuff. Yeah. That's been done a ton of times before, and it works, except for when you have these people writing it. And again, there's no subtlety or nuance to anything. It's just I'm bad. I'm going to do bad stuff. And that is kind of what happens. It feels like it was, for me, I was bored, and I was just, couldn't wait for it to end. So it's it feels like it's too long, though I only think it's an hour and a half. So it was only, fortunately, a 90-minute waste of time. But I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I don't think this is very good, and I would rather just go back and play Witcher 3 again, or Gwent, or do anything else that's Witcher-related.
What it did do is like,
Watch
man,
Witcher
I miss the Witcher 3 quest lines and how much more interesting and involved they are, and I can't wait to, it's hyping me up for Witcher 4. I want to rush back into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and use those long glaives and keep my enemy. I just want to play KCD 2. So I guess it's good for RPGs and stuff upcoming. So it's a little whet your appetite there, but you're not going to be intellectually, stimulated. You're not going to be emotionally stimulated. There's a few good, action sequences, but what does that matter? I really like, Doug coming back as the voice of Geralt, but again, in a better project. Don't waste this, Witcher. I guess, God, man, I think we're fucked. I think we're just stuck with this team because they're the ones running the franchise over there in the live action, so we can't give it to a completely new team. I don't know. Some Polish people, maybe, who understand the fucking series. Maybe since it's, animation, we can have like DC animation and DC live action. But no, you had to give it. If you're right, that all the writers are the original writers from the live action, that makes me even more mad. I saw Lauren's name. I said, okay, well, maybe she's a producer. And,
she's a producer,
she kind of just keeps her hands off it and you kind of showrunner. But no. It's the same team, and I guess that's what we have. So I guess, the Witcher live action would have to wrap up, and then they can, try different things. Because honestly, The Witcher is a wonderful license. In fact, there's a new book. It's a prequel series from the author who I think it's about Geralt in his teenage years. Hasn't been adapted into English yet. I can't wait for it to be adapted into English. And they're even doing wacky things. I think there's like other media that has Geralt going and, being reinterpreted in different time periods and stuff. So there's definitely potential here. But this shows you, especially when you have really good source material, like the original author's The Little Sacrifice, and then this team executes it not quite as well. So the final verdict, it should be below average, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because of Doug Cockle. I like that. I want to encourage him, not Liam.
So
Hemsworth.
You get though.
Let's do this going forward in animation. Give them a good team. Give Doug a good team to work with. Doug has had the kind of leg up working with CD Projekt Red, who understands the property and has good writers and good quests and stuff. And even though it was written for them already, they still decided to make a bunch of dumb changes. So we'll get to those in the spoilers, but I'm going to go 5 out of 10 ultimately. I can't see giving this, even if you turn your brain off and you love everything about The Witcher, there's no way that this even approaches some of the other material. Maybe 6 out of 10 if you're really just starved for media, but this is a 5 out of 10. Average in every way. I completely understand below average, though, and can sympathize with it. So that is, unfortunately, The Witcher Sirens of the Deep. I was hoping to come over here and that's what just happened. So
I was
Joe already broke
away.
This on stream.
I was gonna throw away. You're like, no, this is my favorite, and then you keep breaking it more.
Well, that's
it's
just
trash
like this
now.
show. Trash
now.
Gotta throw it away. But yeah, like they say like don't watch it, not watchable. I think you could throw it on in the background like Joe does when he's cleaning his house and stuff, and he can tune in for the action scenes. So that's our rating of The Witcher: Sirens of the Deep. Thank you so much for watching. Come and join us in the spoiler section if you want to. If not, thank you so much, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys. Hey, welcome to the spoiler section. So, if you don't know nothing about the original short story, it is way more grim. The tone is a lot darker. The tone is more mature, better. It is a little bit more leaning towards Geralt and Little Eye, and it has some key changes from what they did in this anime, and of course they flip it to where at the end the girl doesn't transform to be with the man. They do the man transforming to be with the girl in the little sacrifice. So that was the little sacrifice completely. And they decide instead over here on Netflix and this creative team to let's lean heavily into Disney's, stuff, since that has done so well recently. And so they tried to do The Little Mermaid over again. And everything that's kind of new and different is to help support that Little Mermaid stuff.
Especially the song and dance.
Yeah.
Number.
Yeah, in fact, I think I have some actual changes. Go ahead, guys.
Ursula was better in every way.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, maybe they're writing it for people that are on their phones the entire time something is on and they're vacuuming, and that's why everything is like, I'm a bad character, I'm a bad guy, and like the characters are letting you know how bad they are, and the good characters are letting you know how good they are, and like, I don't understand how people can be watching this and just be like, oh yeah, this is it. This is what I crave from the Witcher universe, which is characters that are more like there are morally gray decisions, and that's kind of something that's interesting to explore.
Yeah.
And no, it's just that the human characters are evil and greedy for the sake of being evil and greedy, and then I don't know. I can't. I refuse to believe that there are people at home like sitting down watching this and going, yeah, this is the stuff.
Yeah, Sapkowski's story concludes way more. It's way more about the delicate negotiations preventing war between two peoples. It's kind of how it ends. Here they do the climactic battle of a gigantic kraken, which mirrors more of the Ursula, final sequence in The Little Mermaid, which obviously was new and created. That wasn't even based on Anderson's original Little Mermaid story that didn't have that.
No.
In fact, the ending to that is crazy. I don't know if many of you know the actual ending to Little Mermaid.
Anything that Hans Christian Andersen wrote is not. You're not going to have a good time.
You're not going to have a good time. I won't spoil it here. Maybe I will. Something about
spoilers.
Don't do it.
No, I won't do it.
You're too kind. He can't know. He's too soft.
So yeah, but that was the only exception that I would make. I was like, all right, fine, big Kraken battle at the end.
Cool.
I get it, cool climactic battle, so I'm okay with it. I, like Joe, wish they would have done a little bit more with it. However, Geralt does get awesome moments using the signs. In fact, at one point, Essie gets captured and she gets almost drowned underwater as Vodnik is just sinking her, and Geralt shows up and saves her and uses a sign to create a little bubble where she can breathe, and it just looks badass. And Geralt feels like fucking a superhero and a superhuman, as the Witchers can. Obviously drinking and going like a madman with the black eyes and the veins is cool. He gets powered up. Fucking tears holes through the Kraken, which I was just sitting there. Why is the Kraken just sitting on the ship with all of its tentacles doing nothing when it literally could have killed everybody in an instant? And so that's what Joe's meaning about that kind of stuff.
Is it going to do anything? It's just sitting there. And then the king slices the princess's fin. He's like, oh, I hope you could swim. She's going underwater. He's like, oh no, she's going to drown.
Yeah, I was like, what? She can breathe underwater. All you're doing is just...
Yeah, her mom just picks her up. It's like, okay.
And her mom heals her, and she's like, you're not the only healer, because the princess is a healer. They also miss an opportunity. I think in the short story, there's this funny thing where Geralt has to do interpreting between the prince and the princess, because they're in a fight. And it's funny. It's so long ago, I don't really remember. I just remember, please get this right. And a lot of people wanted it to be done, and I can't recall it in the anime. I don't remember. There is a scene where they talk and they kind of translate amongst each other. Essie can also, yeah. So, all right. So starting this out, the voice immediately put me at home. So I started off on a good foot here. Yeah, Monster Hunter Geralt. He's fighting a fucking Alamarax, basically the fucking alligator, huge monster, and it is big, bombastic, massive, complex, and you could tell that they're like, okay, in live action this would be too expensive, so here they can do it well. Geralt, being our Geralt, has the heart of gold, and is basically doesn't kill the animal. It turns out the humans that hired him really were blaming it, and it wasn't really the cause of their problems. It was a scapegoat, as the mer people try to tell him, hey, don't kill that creature, and he didn't want to kill it, and he doesn't kill it. Later on, he gets shit for it, but that's our Geralt,
More cold.
Yep. Then we got talking seals and mermaids and mermans! Merman, not mermaid, merman! Zoolander. And we meet Essie, Jasker's childhood friend, Julian. We learn his name is Julian, and he's got, a past that's not quite as fancy man. And I do like the flashback scenes because we get some emotion, but it's so short and fleeting. Jaskier being bullied by this fucking asshole, kicking over his sandcastle, and it has to be this girl that defends him and fights for him, and he feels bad about it. I do like what they do with this character later, this bully later. We'll talk about it. But in those flashback scenes, we get a little bit of that. We also get some romantic tension between this new hottie, this big romantic character for Geralt.
Yeah, she's got two modes. She does two things.
Huge modes.
Yeah, it's two things. She's bad at doing accents, and she's so absurdly horny for Geralt the entire time. Yeah. Again, because they think that you're a goddamn moron.
There's no tension. There's no nothing.
In the short story, she has it so hot for Geralt that I think there was a pearl that she got from Geralt, and then I think she was like just buried with that pearl. Because she's like has the hots for him, and it's unrequited love. He could never love her like he loves Yennefer, so it's kind of sad. That wasn't, again, that's not in there. That's not, none of this shit is in there. But anyways, what else? So they're stoking a potential war. Who's stoking the war, Alex? What's going on here between these kingdoms?
Well, there's there's the mer people, and then there's the human people, and the human people want to greedily harvest all the pearls, and so they're collecting all the oysters and not even eating them, which, again,
oysters are delicious.
Yeah, well, LJ won't eat them.
God damn
they're
it, OJ.
loogies.
Yeah,
Joe, there are so many variations of fucking oysters.
Is it like a loogie?
And they all taste slightly different, and it's like amazing.
It's like
it is
day
like
9 of having an upper respiratory infection. Yeah. And so it's the humans are being greedy, and the mer people hate it, and then the humans don't want their son, who is in love with a mermaid, to go off because it would end the line. And then so there's an evil doer on both sides trying to make this war happen.
Who is it?
Who is it? And they're real subtle about who it is. Real subtle. Like, could never guess what's going on here.
What's going on?
Then so there's a sea witch, and it's definitely not Ursula, even though she sings Ursula's song.
They do, yeah. They have one scene where it's like, oh, don't worry, they're providing her comfort and, false security. Oh, they'll make it through this. Turns out it's that bitch stoking the fire the whole time.
No way!
Never
she looks evil. She's, like darker
He
colors.
should have been my husband.
Smile.
She's like, I hate you. First time we meet her. That's what she says.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Well, she's evil.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that she was in league, in league with the king, because it's like, well, what is the fucking king's plan here? His plan is really fucking stupid.
He was going to kill them, and she was going to take over. She was going to be royalty. Killed them.
Yeah, they stoked the conflict, and then he wanted originally the conflict to be that the son would come to his senses and then, bang someone who has legs. But it's his fetish. I mean, that's his thing. Like he likes the
he did put his dick in the fish, and they had sex a lot because she's like, I liked you better when all we did is fuck, and then she literally says that.
Yeah, it's a really great line, and not that line can't work in a different kind of way.
This is the level of writers, though.
Yeah, but it's like
it's
like it's kind of out of left field, and it's like you could have set that up in a way that makes sense and have this be a darker tone, and it would have been fine, but.
And I do like how, for people who haven't read the short story or, may not see it coming, I do like the scene where Geralt is the Batman detective and he's revealing later on his medallion vibrates initially, and you're like, what is the vibration? You initially think it's this guy who walks in and has a sword in his fucking thing and he's dying. But that's not why the medallion vibrates.
Yeah.
The medallion doesn't vibrate for humans dying. And so later it's revealed that the princess who came in and she had all this fruit and gifts and stuff, and a princess from a land or whatever that could potentially be another mate for the prince instead of the mer lady, turns out she was Ursula in disguise. I'm just gonna call her Ursula.
And she stole Ariel's voice, and she was trying to get the prince to like her, and he's like, "No, I don't like her."
Under the sea, and then they break out in song. I'm not joking. They do this. Okay, they don't use the actual Under the Sea song, but they do break out in song several times. I think there's 3 different songs, and I'm like, what? Why the tone is not right here? Especially, it didn't work.
If Geralt would have started singing, I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Peace.
I'm out.
I'd have given this a 1 out of 10.
What is this?
Maybe a fascinating 1 out of 10 that you have to see Doug Cockle singing, because that would be pretty funny. He's like,
it's sweet.
Fuck. He always delivers the fucks good, because they say, what say you, Witcher? And he says, fuck. And we learned that, he's not actually from Rivia. Did you know that, Joe? The White Wolf, Geralt of Rivia, is not actually from Rivia. Just makes humans feel better when they hire him and stuff. Obviously, he's raised pretty much in the stronghold of Kaer Morhen his whole life. And just like Geralt, though, Jasker is Julian, and he was not raised in the thing in opulence his whole life. He was a common whatever guy getting bullied. And this
and he didn't want to be a fisherman or anything, so he wanted to be creative, and he left. And
he does sing songs now. But anyways, we get a Geralt flashback sequence, or a Geralt dream, a wet dream. Geralt's like having sex with the big boobied lady, or no, he's bathing next to a waterfall, and then the Essie girl comes up, and then they're floating underwater, and then she transforms into Yennefer, and you're like, what's going on here? Well, eventually he wakes up, so it's like all that was happening. And
he had to fight the drowner with a boner.
Yeah, he did. And I was wondering, maybe is this Yennefer actually,
with him,
sort of with him for real? Like wherever she's at, is she, actually communicating with him and having sex, like they do in Demolition Man? They don't actually have physical sex. We don't do that no more. Instead, we put on the headset. I know you'd like that joke. Anyways, but no, he wakes up, and she actually warns him, wake up, girl, because then we have an assassin, and this scene is cool. Again, the action is good, and we wish the action would be taken out of this and put into better fucking story and better executed, because this assassin, Navodnik, is doing some cool maneuvers. Witcher is doing his maneuvers, and eventually drinks and just fucking whoops his ass.
Well, he does like quadruple backflips with a half twist, and he's like the Witcher is like a full-on gymnast.
He is a ballerina.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is happening in this? It's like, okay, if we're gonna go crazy, let's do it. But like, can we write these scenes that come right before and after better? And like, no. Oh, okay.
So then we get that scene where the conflict between the prince and the mermaid princess needing to be interpreted. Not as good as in the short story, but essentially the gist of it is that he gets mad at her, or they're stoking the anger. You're just bewitching me, and she's like, you're a fucking dumb idiot, and I wish you would just shut your mouth and we can fuck. Or something, and then she leaves.
And then there's the Witcher goes to investigate, because he knows that he finds out that the drowners have a little den.
Love his plan here, because Yasker's like, oh my god, you almost died, and it took so much effort to kill that guy, and he's like, no, I let him go on purpose. He's like, why'd you let him go? It's like, well, because they have iridescent blood, and it's easy to track, and we can figure out where they're all going. I'm like,
Pretty good.
Geralt. So small little nuggets in this, which, you know, obviously in the short story, and that's just who Geralt is. So you don't get credit for that, you know. But yeah, and so he's tracking him, and he sees the Vodnik limping towards the nest, and then we get another big action sequence.
The half-brother bastard beat up. Yes.
Oh, he's just about to reveal who's behind everything. So Geralt shows up, starts beating up the guy that he already beat up. And he's like, all right. And the guy starts talking in English and human.
Yeah.
And he was about to reveal who did it. And then...
The problem is it's not a good reveal because this has been set up so poorly. Again, because idiots wrote this. Fucking idiots wrote this. Because
they try to feign you into thinking it's the mermaid princess.
Yeah, well, the problem is that we had the entire scene where there's a different colored mer witch who is an asshole bitch that she's like, I'm evil the whole time. And she's like, practically curling her mustache. And we're like, yeah, we had this scene already. You've already telegraphed that she's the main bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I can't tell you who the main bad guy is because she would kill me. The sea witch lady would kill me. And then he dies. And it's like, well, the problem is, as the audience, you're just like, this scene means nothing because we already know.
They didn't set it up. If they wanted to put more questions in, they should have built up some of the other characters to allow for that.
Yeah.
So no surprise, no tension, no emotions. That's it. Okay, but continuing.
And then they figure out that
wait, why is this lady singing?
Ursula starts a song. She's like,
a little bit of sacrifice. She does the song.
Yeah.
A little bit of sacrifice. I'm like, I want to
he's
die.
like, oh, well, you want to be with your lover? Here, I made a potion where you could get legs.
Okay, never
Let's
mind.
start
I need to
dancing.
lower my I need to lower my rating.
So
God damn
they
it.
start singing.
This is below
it's
average.
a really good song,
No,
though.
I just remembered all three songs. A key element is the music in Witcher, at least the games for me. I mean, there's not music associated with the book, but you know what I'm saying. In my head, that music is perfect. The music sucks here. And then the three musical numbers bring it down. So I'm lowering my rating to a 4 out of 10.
Yeah,
officially.
you could obviously tell that she wasn't going to take it because throughout the whole movie, she's like, well, he's sacrificing nothing. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I've sacrificed everything. I was like, okay. Well,
Yeah, they have to telegraph and foreshadow everything so heavy.
Yes,
It was written for dumbasses, and then you lost me at the bad Disney musical number, and I was kind of punched out of it at that point, and then I was just like there for the action sequences.
I was waiting for like 2 eels or something to come by.
Oh,
They did do sharks.
Minions.
At one point, that guy that one
Barely.
guy's winning against Vodniks, and he puts his sword back, and the shark grabs his sword.
laughed at
and he goes,
that.
"Ah!"
I was like, that's ridiculous.
Hey, I just want the sharks to get involved, so I was happy with
Nah,
it.
sharks are good guys. They should have dolphins because dolphins are the true evils of the
Yeah.
sea.
How dare you?
They are. Sharks are awesome.
Yeah,
Dolphins
I
are evil.
I like sharks, but I don't think dolphins are evil.
But I think it would have been better if the Kraken would have taken down some ships and then the sharks could have.
So the premise of the final fight, which they created, is insanely fucking stupid. But I will allow it if we do cool things with it. But I agree with him.
But we're pointing it out because everything else sucked.
It's like I don't think they did anything cool. If the Kraken there was like 6 ships there, the Kraken could have destroyed half of them.
Yeah.
I don't think the Kraken destroyed a single one of them. The ship
Maybe
that
the one that they were sitting on.
I think the main
it was still there.
It slides
It was
off.
still there.
So
it just comes down.
It's trying to like start a war and kill all these humans and like all of this other stuff, and like it turns out that a lot of lackeys die, but like all the ships are fine, and then this whole we're gonna invade the mermaid world by sailing onto their turf where they can attack our boats from the bottom.
The premise. This is why in the original short story there wasn't this massive Kraken that's destroying ships and armies and stuff.
This reminds me of that Family Guy where the Aquaman's like, why don't you come in the water and say that in my face?
Yeah.
What from what?
I think it's from Family Guy. The Aquaman's like, why don't you come over in the water and say it in my face?
No, let's stay
Well,
over.
the humans in this do go over into the water and say it in their face, and then they get their asses kicked. I did like the brutality and of the bully who I like. This man stands up for. You think he's going to be the sub-villain, right?
He's a bastard.
Because he's a fucking asshole bully. But when it's revealed that the king is in league with the sea witch and they're actually sacrificing sailors in order to drum up this war, he's like, nah, fuck this. And he throws his sword down. He's like, I'm not. And he actually joins the Witcher and everybody. That was pretty cool to see. Unfortunately, this motherfucker gets killed.
Well, he doesn't join the Witcher. He immediately goes, I'm throwing my sword down, execute me, because the Witcher is on his way to be executed. So
execute me with the rest of them.
He goes
could have done something way more clever.
He just kills himself. He's just like, all right, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to kill myself.
But
It's
he
like,
did, Joe.
it's like you could have left. You could have gone to a different city.
Or been in charge of the execution and then in the last minute helped him or something. I don't fucking know.
No, he did. Remember, there's a callback for the diving board. He's like, let me go first.
Oh, my God.
There's a backflip.
Oh, that's right. The bully does a backflip over.
When they make you walk the plank, it's like a diving board.
Into the water. Only this time he does the backflip.
Callback.
And all the humans are like, the fuck does he do that for? Whatever. And they start fighting and they break out. But you think they're going to be killed anyway because they're surrounded. But then the mer people attack. Or or actually the Vodnik forces, but led by the Sea Witch, and then she transforms into the Kraken, and the fight ensues.
She turns into the Kraken, and she's on top of the boat.
And then she just sits on the boat.
She's on the boat, and she wiggles her tentacles.
A little bit.
Oh, I got you.
She does kill that guy, and it was pretty cool.
She does rip him in half and drops his body. Sad day for that guy. Maybe he shouldn't bully
that's
people.
what he wanted.
And then she's like slapping people.
He's like, I like our odds. And then when she turns into the Kraken, he's like, oh, scratch that. Then he gets ripped in half. One good part.
Then she doesn't really do anything after that.
She eats an unnamed niece that gets spit back out, and I think she's fine. Remember that?
Yeah.
That niece that you don't know the name of?
Oh, I thought it was a queen. I don't know.
No, I thought there was a niece.
I do think that the designs are a little too clean. I like the animation. The animation seems fluid. It's not the herky-jerky kind of stop-motion stuff that I don't like. It's detailed. It's, works in places. I do think it's a little clean. I need a little bit more grittiness to it. Hire some Polish artists. If we're going to be fucking doing this generic anime style for everything on Netflix, I'm going to get real fucking bored of it. And it's not even Japanese, so I don't know if I can even call it anime, but, it's an opportunity for creativity that they missed. And
the same thing. It just felt like that Lord of the Rings one we watched. It was like they had a lot of opportunity and just fucked it up.
And they didn't do anything with it, yeah.
All right, well, and on that incredibly disappointing note,
disappointing.
I actually lowered my rating in these spoilers after remembering those song and musical numbers.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I guess we'll end it there. We need more of this, more meat.
More mead.
I'll see you. That's it, guys. Tell us what you thought. I'm
If
sure there's
you
going to be
watched it.
plenty of people that's like, it's not that bad. You guys are blah, blah, blah.
You're right.
It's the best
Look,
Witcher.
you're
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that in those people's minds, it's like, look, they were only there to watch the Witcher fight stuff. And if that's all you're there for, then I think that I agree with you. Then it's not that bad. The problem is, for 90 minutes, I wanted to watch a movie that was
This franchise
story
is better than
and
that.
characters. And that's
something.
perfectly put. The story of The Witcher and the world of The Witcher is better than what we got here. And so for me, giant fucking waste of time. And fuck off, Netflix.
There you go. We'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Hopefully, season 4 of The Witcher will be better.
I don't think so.
It's probably just going to be a glorious train wreck. I can't wait. See you then. Bye, guys.